I feel like we always talk about trips making it out the group chat, but we never talk about trips not making it back home. I did a story time on this before, but I never finished because I just didn't think that you guys cared for me to finish. But a lot of people were like, where's the story time? Where's part two? Where's part two? Where's part two? So let's run it back for the ones who missed it. You really need to be careful of who you call your friends, and you really need to be careful of who you're going on these girls trips with. This is the story all about how, y'all, this is the story of how I got arrested in Cancun, Mexico on a girls trip. I went on a girls trip for what used to be my friend's birthday, and it was 4 of us. So us 4 girls go to Cancun. We think we're gonna have the time of our freaking life, until we didn't. Full details of the trip, leading up to the trip, and etc. will be on my YouTube channel, but I just want to get into the tea of let's just start from when we got arrested. I must say that everything leading up into this point was lit. We were having literally the time of our lives. It was like one of my favorite trips so far. We were on a resort, we were getting lit, we were getting drunk. So then we decided to go to a pool party called Coco Bongo in Mexico. If y'all don't know what that is, that's basically just exactly what I said. It's like a pool party, club vibe, outdoors / indoors. I can't really explain it. Just know it was lit as fuck. We're lit, we're popping bottles. You already know how to go on a girls trip. Everything is fun. Might I add that the birthday girl was more so my friend. The other 2 girls on the trip were her friends. So we're lit, we're having the time of our life. Everything was cool. We were getting to know each other. The vibe was vibing. We had one too many drinks and it was time to go. I was basically blacked out drunk. Like I barely remember half of that pool party. I remember like the beginning, but like towards the end I really don't remember. I didn't like come back to up until people were starting to get arrested and fighting. So fast forward, we were lit. There was these guys who were there and he wanted to talk to one of the birthday girl's friend. He's like, y'all are pretty as fuck. Y'all should come back to our Airbnb. We're having a good time. Like, let's not let the party stop here. So the birthday girl is basically like, no, like we're lit. We're gonna go back to our resort. Maybe we sober up, we'll come back and link with y'all. But right now, like we're too lit. Like we're getting out of here. We're getting out of here. The birthday girl was trying to get her friend to come and she basically was just like, no, like I want to go with them. So the birthday girl is like, no, I'm not letting you go with them. You're too drunk. We're all lit. We came together. We're going to leave together, which I definitely understand. And I'm grateful for that part of this whole story because I was definitely lit. And another one of her friends was definitely lit as well. So us going to a house with a bunch of guys that we don't know would just not ended well, like at all. As we were on our way to the taxi, things start going wrong when the birthday girl started getting frustrated with the other girl who wanted to stay with the boys. She basically was like, come on, let's go. You're being a whore. You're being a fake friend. Like, you're doing too much. Like, let's go. Like, we're out of here. This is not that. You need to get into this car. But it's like the way that she was saying it was like mad aggressive. And I guess the other girl was just not for it. She's like, you're not my mom. Who the hell do you think you're talking to? And it's like, I definitely get both sides of it. I get you being a protective friend and you want your friend to get out of a sticky situation that they can put themselves through. But at the same time, you're my friend, not my mother. You don't have to be like, bitch, let's the fuck go. You fucking whore, you fake ass friend. Like popping it, especially in front of everybody. It'll be one thing to do it like privately, but in front of a whole crowd of people, it's just like, you're doing too much. And I think that's where the conflict starts. We're getting into our taxi to head back to the resort. The birthday girl sits to the front. Us 3 friends were sitting inside the back. The birthday girl turns around, basically popping it some more, like, you're weird as shit, da 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 da. And then the friend is like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to, da 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 da. And at this point, hands is in each other's faces, and then now punches are starting to be thrown. Bitches is swinging. Bitches is fighting inside of this motherfucking taxi in Cancun, Mexico. Everything was literally happening fast as fuck. Like, me and the other girl, we didn't even have a chance to try to stop them from fighting because next thing you know, the cops were literally dragging the birthday girl out of the car. Like, literally. The cops are dragging her out the car. Don't give 2 shits of how they're handling her at all. They're putting a cuss behind her back. They're like bending her arms back and they're like, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. So I guess in the midst of them fighting, the taxi man must have called the police or the police were already outside. I don't even know, but all I know is they got there extremely fast. There was no time wasted. Them cops were there. Okay, so after that, we got the car and we're like trying to tell the cops, like, it's okay. It was just a little altercation. We're all friends here. Everything is fine. Just let us go. We're going to go back to our resort. We're not going to cause any more problems. The cops were not trying to hear that at all. For one, I honestly don't even think that they even understood what we were even saying to begin with, which was the main issue, because we're like screaming and yelling and panicking. And to them, not speaking any English, they probably thought like we were being mad aggressive and trying to like hurt them, which is, now that I go back and think about it, I think that's why they reacted the way that they reacted, because they just didn't know what we were saying. You just see a bunch of angry black women going all like this in your face and you don't even know what we're saying. But so after that, the friend that she was fighting basically felt as though it wasn't fair for just her to go to jail since they both were fighting. So she basically tells the cops, like, arrest me, take me with you, like literally, here's my wrist, lock me up too. So of course she gets locked up. Now I'm in full panic mode. Drunkenness is out the window, sober right up. And I'm like, oh my God, like what is going on? My friends are going to jail and we're in Mexico. What to do? Like, we're not in the US. We are literally in a whole different country and they're going to jail. So I'm like panicking. I'm like snapping at this point. I just see red. Story time on why you should only go on girls trips with girls you actually fuck with, a girl that's your family member, or don't fucking go on a girls trip at all. So I got invited on this trip to go to New Orleans for a friend's birthday. She was not really my friend, but I consider her as a friend because she was my best friend's friend, as well as she would come over my house. I would cook for everybody. We would drink wine. We would laugh, sometimes cry. We would talk, etc. She knew my business. I knew hers. Bitch, you're my friend. Prior to us going on the trip, most of the women that she invited could not make the trip, but me being a good friend that I am, couldn't bail on a friend because I've never been to New Orleans. I wanted to go and I wanted to make it a good experience for her. Only 3 of us ended up going on the trip. Her, me, one other girl that we went to school with, but I didn't really know her. So keep in mind, I'm going on a trip with a potential stranger, a girl who I'm considering my friend, but is not really my friend, but she's my friend. At the start of the trip, my clothes did not come in on time. That was a red flag, and that was the universe letting me know, Alexis, don't go on this fucking trip. My mama told me not to go on the trip. My sisters told me not to go on the trip. I got a bad feeling on going on the trip, but me being a good friend, I took my ass on this trip. All 3 of us was in a group chat, talking about the trip, how excited we was, sending money for the rental car and the hotel, all of that. Second red flag was when they would send they pictures of them doing their hair in the group chat, me boosting them up like, ooh, y'all look so good, hair is laid, we some bad bitches, etc., etc. But when it was my turn to send a picture of my hair in the group chat, every bitch in there hearted it, but nobody responded. Imagine being a hype girl to bitches and then they don't hype you up. Red flag. Boom. I didn't pay no mind. So the birthday girl fucked her wig up. She needed to tweak it a little bit, which I did for her because she had pictures to take prior to going on the trip. I also curled her hair and I did her makeup for her pictures. The morning come when it was time for us to leave out, I still had nothing to wear. I was contemplating on going. I had put in money. I didn't even give a fuck. I really didn't want to go no more, but because I wanted her to have a good birthday, I said fuck it. We got up early that morning and went to like boutiques and shit to find me some clothes to wear. Heading down to the trip, everything went well, but during the car ride, the birthday girl would say like slick shit, and I sometimes can be sensitive because I am a Taurus. So I try not to be sensitive and I try to just let certain shit slide because I am very sweet. But shit ain't sweet. Oh, okay. We get to New Orleans. It's time for us to put that shit on. It's time for us to go hit the streets. So everybody in there getting ready. I'm on live talking to my folks while I'm doing my makeup and getting ready. To know me is to know me. I'm a model. So anywhere I go, I like to do my makeup. I like to put that shit on. That's just me. I'm going to look good anywhere I go. Yeah. If that ain't how you coming, that ain't got nothing to do with me, birthday or not. I don't give a fuck. I'll help you in the best way that I can. But me, oh, I'm coming. She rushing me. Oh, you taking too long. You got to do your makeup. You got to curl your hair. You need to hurry up. I'm ready to get outside. So I'm like, bitch, don't rush me. I'm coming. Okay, everybody getting ready. It ain't just me. Mind you, her friend doing her makeup too. But she ain't worrying about her. She just worrying about me. So we taking pictures before we head out or whatever. Cool. We head out. We go on the strip. We go eat some seafood or whatever. We chit-chatting. We laughing and vlogging. It was fun. The next morning, we decided to go to brunch. Everybody got ready for brunch. I didn't do my makeup this time because I didn't want to take too fucking long. We woke up late. I'm trying to go eat. We had brunch having a good time, but at this time, she needed her mimosa refilled. The birthday girl, to be exact. She grabbed a server that wasn't our server, and the server was like, okay, I'll grab your server for you. I don't like being embarrassed when I go out in public, so don't do that, talking to the waiter rude and shit. I don't play that, because I'm very respectful. I got manners, so don't do that around me. She like, why she can't refill my drink? I'm like, don't do too much. Like, it's cool. Let her get our server. She'll refill it. Well, maybe you shouldn't tell me what the fuck to say with my mouth. That's exactly what she said to me.
Me, I'm flabbergasted because I'm like, girl, what the fuck wrong with you? Why is you talking to me like this? Like, you okay? And I'm like, I'm just saying, you ain't got to do all that. Just let our server refill your drink. She like, I'm just saying, you ain't got to tell me what the fuck to say or what the fuck to do. Okay, cool. Her friend sitting next to her ain't saying nothing. At that point, I'm quiet because I feel some type of way because you didn't have to talk to me the way that you just did. Trip is going bad at this point. At this point, give me the check. I'm ready to go. The car ride, they talking to each other. I'm not saying shit. Ain't nobody talking to me. Ain't nobody asking me nothing. We headed to the mall. We get to the mall. I got to pee, so I go to the bathroom and I leave them to go to the bathroom. The birthday girl, texts us in the group chat and say, I thought we said when we got out here we wasn't going to leave each other. First of all, bitch, you ain't just apologized. We ain't talked about the shit that just happened at brunch, and you think I want to walk with you around the mall? Miss me with that bullshit. We ended up meeting back up at the mall, and we was in a store shopping. I'm shopping by myself. They still with each other or whatever. We head back to the hotel room, and as we're getting off the elevator, she like, this is the worst birthday trip I've ever been on. This trip was not fun at all. I should never came out here. Telling the other girl, except for you making the trip fun. I just love you. After that, I felt some type of way because it's like, are you throwing shade? I got back to the room, got my blizzy and my lighter, and I went downstairs and did my 1-2. As I'm sitting downstairs, the lady tell me there's a parade. You're not going to the parade. So I'm like, oh, it's a parade. Why not? I sat and talked to her for a little bit, and then I walked back up there. Once I get back into the room, she's on the phone with my best friend. I'm guessing they're talking about me, like telling her bullshit. As I'm in the room, everything is just silent. I pops out and I'm like, I heard it's a parade going on. Do y'all want to go? She like, no, I don't want to do none. My birthday trip is ruined. I just want to go home to my kid. Blase, blase. Okay, bitch. The other girl that was with me, she like, shit, let's go. So we get dressed to go because I came here to have fun, not to be stuck up and mad. As we're leaving and we start walking the strip or whatever, the girl who isn't my friend, she like, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with her. I think she just missed her kid and her man or whatever. You got to pay her no mind. Me, I'm quiet. I really don't have nothing to say because I felt like they had been talking about me in that room before I had got back up there. And bitch, I don't want to say nothing to you. I don't want you to go back and say nothing to her. And I just don't want it to be a whole big thing. So we on the strip, we walking, we done got drinks, we done went into this club. Now the girl who's supposed to be my friend, the birthday girl, she's calling, trying to figure out where we're at. She ended up coming to the strip. She didn't apologize. We still didn't have a conversation. So it's still some tension there, but I'm trying to have fun. So we're going to clubs. I'm buying drinks. These bitches ain't even drinking my drinks that I'm buying. We having a little bit of fun, not the fun that I came to New Orleans for, but hey, it is what it is. I'm ready to go home at this point. Next day come, we packing up our stuff so we can get ready to leave. We go to Subway and get some food to go, and then we hit the road. I'm a front seat girly. On my way there, I drove in the front seat because I don't ride in the back seat. If you know me, you know this. I got my headphones in, I'm listening to my music, I'm vibing out, I'm chilling. I don't want to talk to nobody because I'm still weirded about yesterday, and we still ain't have a conversation about it like adults, like grown women are supposed to. So they pull up to my house and I'm the first person they drop off or whatever. I got a whole bunch of shit with me. I got extra purses, I got extra shoes, extra clothes, because I'm that type of person that's going to take a lot of stuff on the trip with me because you never know what I'm wearing. I was calling my mama to see if she had left my key at my apartment where we had discussed to leave the key at or whatever. She did ask, the birthday girl, she asked if I needed help getting my stuff out. I said, hold on, I'm calling my mama to see if she left my key. I proceed to get out the car to go to my front door and I'm getting my stuff out the car. Now one of these bitches got out the car to help me. Literally sat in the car the entire time while I got all of my things out. I'm just throwing my stuff on the living room floor so I can get everything out the car so they can get the fuck on. I wind up leaving one of my purses in the car. They come back to bring me my purse back. And at this point, I blocked them on everything. The trip was weird. They was weird. Vibes was off. I felt like I had been talked about. I felt like they were in cahoots together and I felt like an outsider. I blocked them and went on about my business. Around this time, I had a 50K platform. Well, my platform wasn't even at 50K. I had a 20K platform. And a video that came across my page was, what is the weirdest shit that a friend had done to you? So, of course, I just came back from New Orleans. I'm feeling some type of way. I started to discuss the story that just happened to me in New Orleans. Because I'm a big influencer, it popped up on their For You page, I guess. Mind you, I didn't use no names, I didn't use no pictures, none of that. All I'm doing is talking about my experience and what had happened. The birthday girl takes my video off of TikTok, posts it on Facebook, and just goes off. This bitch trying to get clout off my name. She in my comments saying you made the whole trip about you. Mind you, I didn't use no name in my video, and I already got clout, girl. What clout can you give me? Remember I told y'all anywhere I go, I like to do my makeup, I like to look good. I'm guessing that's what she meant when she said I made the trip about me. Because how did I make the trip about me when I'm buying y'all shots? I'm asking y'all, do y'all want to go to a parade? I'm trying to make sure we have a good time. She got bitches under her Facebook post ad-libbing her saying, yeah, she been weird. All it is, like, y'all gotta like for a part two because it get crazier.
Okay, y'all, so I'm back with the story time because y'all is on my ass in the comments. So don't mind the cooking. I'm making dinner right now. So this is part one of how my ex-homegirl scammed me and my homegirls up on a Miami girls trip. So we're gonna hop straight into it. So first things first, y'all already know how the girl trips go. Everybody inside the group chat, we planning everything. Mind y'all, this is not our first rodeo. We didn't been up on a girl trip way before, plenty of times with this same girl, right? So this girl name is gonna be Crystal. That's not her name, but we're gonna use her name as Crystal in the story. So Crystal was in charge of the Airbnb, right? So Crystal done booked us Airbnbs in the past. We fine and dandy. Everything is good with the Airbnb. So of course we put her in charge. So whenever we put Crystal in charge, we found us an Airbnb. That Airbnb was $1,500. It was 7 of us, and we all busted down equally. Whenever we booked it, right? So that Airbnb got booked. So we did have a booked Airbnb. We had one. 2 days prior to us boarding our flight, the Airbnb people reached out from the people that we booked originally. They reached out and told us that we could not um, book the house anymore because the guests before us, they had did something inside the house where the people had to fix it up, whatever. So now it's time for us to look for another Airbnb right before our trip. So it was time for us to book another Airbnb. So we looking for Airbnbs. We found us an Airbnb that we all agreed on. This Airbnb was $1,200. So, if something like that was to happen to y'all, y'all will all bust it down the middle again, and just pay whatever is 200 divided by 7. Just like how we did the first Airbnb. Well, this time, whenever it's time to book, she was like, "Y'all don't worry about it. I'll pay the full amount for the Airbnb." So we all like, shit. If you got $200 that you just want to spend on the Airbnb by yourself, then you can do it. Like, we're not tripping. Mind you, this is a close friend. So we like, shit. She ain't got no kids. Maybe you got some money. So she sent us something like a confirmation, and we had another house. So that, at least we thought. So we ended up, we getting ready. I think our flight boarded at our flight took off at 7 in the morning. So we all in the group chat at 5 in the morning. We like, y'all up, woo, getting ready, getting prepared. So once we get to the airport, I can kind of tell that she's being weird. Like, she's not happy. She's not excited. And at the airport, she's trembling. Like, she's shaking a little bit. Whenever you cold, you kind of shake. She kind of shaking. So I'm not thinking nothing of it, though. It's like I'm peeping it, but I'm not thinking nothing of it. So once we get on the airplane, I had a window seat, and then my other 2 friends sat next to me, and then she was inside the aisle seat. She just kind of kept looking at me. Mind you, this was my friend the longest. She was a client, and she became a friend, so I introduced her to all my friends. She had been around me and my friends for some years. So she just was steady looking at me on the plane. Again, I'm not thinking nothing of it, I'm just Like, oh, maybe we're happy. So then, like, right before we got off the flight, she ended up buying everybody some shots on the flight. You know, like we making TikToks and stuff on the flight. So it's time to get off. We landed inside Miami. We lit. We ready to get it started. So, mind you, she the one who making all the TikToks. So we make another TikTok once we land. So we get to the airport. We go down to baggage claim. While we're at baggage claim, she starts crying. Mind you, she was the oldest out of everybody. Crystal was 28. At the time, we was like 26, 25, you know. So we like, what you crying for? Fuck. She like, I don't understand why these Airbnbs keep canceling. So we like, oh, fuck, like, damn. So, stay tuned for part 2.
Alright, everybody been talking about why they're not going to Mexico for everything that's been going on. And since I went to Mexico a couple years ago, I have been telling everybody, don't go to Mexico. So I'm ready to share my story. Okay, so I went to Mexico with my girlfriend in 2023. And we stayed at a beautiful resort that was highly recommended on TikTok. The resort, for the most part, lived up to the expectations. But when I tell y'all, it was some bullshit every single day of the trip. Like, by the last day, I was genuinely wondering if I needed to start calling my friends and family and saying my goodbyes because it was that bad. Okay, so when we got to the resort, we got there a couple hours early, which we've kind of realized over many all-inclusive trips before that's the hack. If you get there early, they still gonna let you in the resort. They still gonna let you go eat. They still gonna let you in the pool. So we get there early on purpose. We got there early. Room wasn't ready. No big deal. We about to go to lunch and go swimming. Y'all, when we first got there, they ran my card and they said that everything was good with the rooms. We went to have lunch and then we changed into bathing suits in the bathroom and started to get ready for the pools. After about maybe 3-4 hours, our room should have been ready after like 2 hours of being there, but they hadn't come and check in with us, and they knew where we were because we stayed in the main pool right outside of the lobby. So we went to check on the room. Yo, we get to the lobby, and granted, we are drunk as hell at this point. If you've ever been to an all-inclusive resort, you know how it goes. Them swim bars ain't nothing to play with. We get back to the lobby, and they're telling me that my payment didn't go through and that they would have to process it again until they could release us into the room. Mind you, I told you it was me, my girlfriend, and our best friend at the time on the trip. This isn't our first rodeo, so I already had everybody's money and then some in my bank account, so there was really no reason why the money wouldn't be going through. I don't know if it was just me being drunk or what, but I immediately gave them back my card and let them try it again because I knew that the money was on there. I don't even know if at this point I had checked my bank account to see what was going on. Like, I just am like, why would they lie about not getting the money? Gave them my card, they ran it again. They ran it probably 2 more times right in front of me, but they kept saying that the money wasn't going through. So at this point is when I checked my bank account. When I checked my bank account, it showed that the payments had gone through each and every time, but they were still saying that it didn't process on their end. So I called my bank to see what was going on, and my bank confirmed that the money had gone through. The resort's still saying that the money didn't go through, so they're like, well, we can escort you to your room, but we're not going to give you no room keys until the money goes through. Obviously, at this point, as you can guess, I'm not having that. What you mean you about to check me into a room? I'm going to take my suitcases and everything into the room, and I need y'all to access the room when I want to? Do I have stupid written across my forehead?
So by that point, we already frustrated, intoxicated, so trying to, channel and funnel all of that energy out, because at this point, her card is in, like, negative $12,000, and they just basically swiped her card for everything times maybe like 6 or 7 times. So finally got it settled, finally got the room key. It literally took for us, I think, on the phone with Navy Federal, them on speaker, like, yeah, the transaction has processed X amount of times on our end, and we see it, so we're confused what's going on in your system. At this point, this is our first experience. We trying to just make the best of it. Got our room keys. went to dinner, and we just gonna chill on the beach for the night. Get to the beach, we chilling, we vibing, we got drinks. Based on the package we had, they had like bottles and stuff in our room, so we got drinks, we got a little bit more dessert from the buffet, and we smoking our hookahs. We out there, we chilling hard, getting in the water, we got our speaker, we dancing, we having a good old grand time. You know, most of these resorts too are on like a private island, so the beach was in the back, like we was having a good time. Y'all not gonna believe what happened next. Lord. Little old Miguel comes around. I don't even know what his name is. Little bro come, he security. He come, he talking, he like, y'all can't do that. He's speaking Spanish a little bit, and we basically like, we don't understand what you're talking about. Like, what can we do? He's like, y'all gonna get in trouble. Like, y'all can't do that. We all looking around like, what are we doing? Like, we're chilling on the beach. We didn't know that the beach had restriction hours or whatever. So we all like looking at each other like, what are we doing wrong? What can we do here? He starts pulling out his phone to get out Google Translate, and he starts typing in his phone. Mind you, Shay and our best friend at the time spoke Spanish. They wasn't, obviously, like in some of those places, you not trying to give all of that energy directly up front, because you don't want everybody to know what type of wavelength you on. So we all kind of made eye contact like, this the wavelength we on, we not doing that. He typing in Google Translate, y'all can't do that, y'all gonna get in trouble, I'm gonna have to call the police, all of this stuff. We typing back to him like, what are we doing wrong? Like, what did we do? Like, at this point, what happened? He loaded and everything, so we not trying, it's our first day, we just went through all of this, we're relaxing on the beach, like literally feeling like we in a movie, just chilling. We going back and forth Google Translate for a couple minutes.
Y'all, like she said, I do speak Spanish, so I kind of had a little idea where the conversation was going, but I'm just like, you know what, let's play it cool. Let me play the dumb American, don't know what's going on card, and just like see where it goes. He keeps giving back the phone after we're like asking him, what did we do wrong? Why are we getting in trouble? Like, can you tell us what rule we broke? And he keeps saying the same thing. Y'all can't do this. Y'all gonna get in trouble. But every time he's adding like more lines to it. So he's adding like, the police are gonna come and search you in your room. Next time is they're gonna come strip search you, and you're gonna get charged a $10,000 fine. Next thing is they're gonna have the dogs sniff you in your room, and it's just all like, he keeps trying to make it scarier and scarier. So at this point, we are scared. We're 3 girls in Mexico by ourselves. I think we turned 21 that year, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 22. And there's just 3 of us, so we're scared, and we just keep asking him like, okay, like, we don't know what we did still, but what can we do to resolve this? She's like, how much do you want? Because that's what, in her mind, she's like, the nigga must want money. So she's like, how much do you want? Now he's still saying the same thing. Y'all gonna get in trouble. Y'all gonna get strip searched. Y'all gonna have the dogs on y'all. Y'all gonna have to pay a fine. But he's like, at the end, he's adding a little something to the end. So now at the end of the messages, he's saying, unless you guys can find a way to make this go away. So we're like, yeah, how much money you want? Like, what's up? It's no problem. Y'all, I'm telling you, every time he hands the phone back, my eye is starting to twitch a little bit, because I'm reading the top, which is in Spanish, and I told you I understand Spanish, and then I'm reading the bottom, which is in English. And you know, like, some words translate well. It's also Google Translate, so sometimes it's not exact. Point, I'm reading the top, I'm reading the bottom, I'm picking up what the fuck he's putting down. So now he's typing at the whole long message, da 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 da, unless one of you can think of a way to relax me. Relax. Y'all, I turned to my friends and I said, y'all, this nigga is trying to fuck us. My girlfriend wasn't on that. She's upset. I'm like, listen, we not about to sit right here and fight this nigga. We need to run. He's on a fucking walkie-talkie talking about andale. Y'all, I've never ran so fast in my life.
When she told us, like, yeah, this what he mean, I'm like, At this point, let's beat his ass. They like, we gotta go. I'm like, we can literally like dog this nigga. Don't nobody got time for that. Y'all, when I tell y'all everybody on this resort was working together and the only thing that saved our life was God himself, we running. We go back upstairs because the ladies that took all our money was so nice. They were trying to get us to get all these resorts and excursions and everything. We go upstairs and the guys are acting so confused. I lied to you not. We're literally scared and hysterical. And they're just like, no way that happened. I'm sorry, we can't change your room. Like, all of this.
So, y'all, we ran to the room. We barricaded the door. We had a freaking bottle of alcohol on top of the doorknob, taking turns keeping night watch to make sure that we don't get our room broken into and killed in our sleep. And it was one of the scariest nights of my life. But I'm running out of time, so come back for part 2.